Welcome students to the lecture number 4 of introduction, unit number 1, unit introduction to .NET technology, and the topic is environment setup for VB.NET, right? So in the previous 3 lectures we already have gone through the framework for the .NET, right? And the .NET framework we had already studied in 2 parts, and then afterwards we studied about the basics of the VB.NET, that is Visual Basic .NET, and now we are going to see the environment setup for the VB.NET, right? Because finally the ultimate motive of any particular programming language is to code it or to program it, right? So in the environment in which we are actually trying to code this particular programming language, that environment setup we must all be familiar with, right? So that's why today I am delivering this lecture, that is environment setup for VB.NET, in which we will come to know that what is the actual programming environment and how we have to code our VB.NET program. So let us begin. These are the contents which I have included in this lecture. First is prerequisite, then topic number 1 is environment setup for VB.NET. Actually the environment setup for the VB.NET is Microsoft Visual Studio IDE, the integrated development environment. Then we will cover the topic number 2, that is creating a console application in VB.NET. Since 2 or 3 applications mostly are developed in .NET environment, like window application, console application, web application, and also nowadays cloud applications are also being developed. Here in this particular topic we are going to create a sample console application in VB.NET. Then we will see a first VB program. Afterwards we will see the learning outcomes, and then we will go for research scope and then references. So basically the prerequisite for this particular lecture is VB.NET, since it is based, or it is very much inspired on with the basic language and the Visual Basic programming languages. So that is why there is the prerequisite for this VB.NET programming is that we must have a basic understanding of these languages, that is Visual Basic programming, VB tools, etc. we must be a little bit familiar with, so that we can easily learn this VB.NET programming language. Now environment setup for VB.NET. Actually here already the Microsoft has provided an integrated development environment for this, that is IDE. It is called as an IDE tool, in fact, which is basically used for we can say building applications, and these applications may be built upon different programming languages like C#, F#, Visual Basic, etc. Based on our requirements, means whatever maybe the user's programming language constructs are, means in which particular programming language the user wants to code, in that particular language the coding can be done on a .NET framework. We know that it supports more than 70 plus languages, so we can go for C#, F#, Visual Basic languages, etc. And of the Visual Studio IDE, basically what does it do? It is responsible for providing a common interface, right? A common interface is provided, and we can say that this interface is actually, it comes along with a collection of different development tools. There are different development tools available with this common user interface to build applications with the different programming languages like C#, F#, VB, etc. So these different development tools actually help us to make a better we can say better application, and a better GUI can be incorporated in this, means the graphical user interface can be incorporated with the help of these different tools which are available in this integrated development environment. And there is one more advantage of Visual Studio IDE, that there are certain controls which are present over here, as I have told you earlier in the earlier lecture, that certain controls like buttons, check boxes, etc., radio buttons, etc., we do not need to code them. Rather, their coding is inbuilt in this particular framework, .NET framework. So we need not to code these particular button controls and radio button controls and checkbox, etc. So it's an advantage, we can say. Yeah. Now we'll just discuss about the installation process of the Visual Studio. Basically, if you want to install and use Visual Studio for commercial purpose, then it is necessary for us to buy a license from Microsoft. But in case if we want to use the Visual Studio just for the learning or the non-commercial purpose, then in that case Microsoft has provided a free Visual Studio community version. So if you want to use Visual Studio for the learning purpose, then in that case, means for the non-commercial purpose, then Microsoft has already provided a free, we can say, Visual Studio community version for it. Like for example, Visual Studio community version 2017 is there. So with the help of this, the .NET applications can be easily built upon. So I think students, you must have got the understanding that for the installation purpose, if you want to use the Visual Studio for the commercial purpose, then yeah, we have to basically purchase it with a license from the Microsoft. Otherwise, if you want to use Visual Studio for the learning purpose or for the non-commercial use, simply for the learning purpose if you want to use, then simply Microsoft already provides a free Visual Studio community version, and you can download Microsoft Visual Studio community version from there. So it is basically available on visualstudio.com, and from there also we can download the entire setup. Basically, if you want to create a Visual Studio, then means after installation, means after the proper type of installation is done in our system, then onwards we can open the Visual Studio and we can start it, right? But first of all, we must properly install the Visual Studio framework, and Microsoft Visual Studio framework should be properly installed in our system. And after the installation, whenever we will try to open Visual Studio for the first time, then what it will ask, it will prompt us to sign in for the first time. Means the for the first time it will ask to enter the email ID, or it will ask for the signing in. So this signing in step is optional, and you can also skip it. Next, the dialog box will appear in which you will have to choose certain development settings and certain color themes, etc., that can be chosen. And once we start this required options, then after the start Visual Studio option will come like this. This is shown in this particular picture, and here the start Visual Studio button is coming. So we can start the Visual Studio environment by clicking this particular button. Yeah. So finally we will enter into the Visual Studio environment after clicking this button. So this is the just students, you must have got the understanding that this is just the initiation or the starting or the beginning, that how do we approach towards a particular VB.NET environment. So first of all, we just have to download it properly, and then we if you want to create a project in Visual Studio, then basically first step after the installation is that it will ask for signing in. Once we sign in, or though we skip it, then also a dialog box will appear. Then it will ask for the settings to be done in the development settings and color themes, etc. So once we select the required options, then we will basically can click this Visual Studio option. This is the start Visual Studio button, and we will enter into the Visual Studio environment. Yeah. Now, if you want to create a console application VB.NET, now this is a very important point coming, students. After the Visual Studio launch, means previously what we did, we once we clicked on this, that is start Visual Studio, then what will happen? Our Visual Studio framework will be launched. So after the Visual Studio launching process has been completed or finished, after the Visual Studio launching process has been completed, then now we can create a new console application. If you want to create a new console application using a Visual Basic programming language, for that, then what we'll do, we will just simply go to the file, then we'll go to new, and then we'll go to the project. So this is basically we can say that it is a it's simply a means we can go for it for the new file creation, right? So basically we can say that this is the creation of the console application. Now once we click the project file, new project, then we a new pop-up window will open, in which we will have to select the Visual Basic like this. See, here we'll have to select the Visual Basic, and then the console application option will come. We can select several options from here, like WPF, Windows Forms, console application, ASP.NET web application, and numbers of things are there. So we can easily click it, any application we want to build. But first of all, we'll have to select from here whether we want to perform it in Visual C# or whether we want to do it in Visual Basic. So we'll select here the Visual Basic option, and then afterwards we'll go for the creating of the console application, right? So here once we click on the OK button, a new console application will be created like this. This is basically the means once we have clicked this OK button over here, then we will go for this particular console application. This is how it works. But first of all, we'll have to select this Visual Basic. Then means once we enter into the new project, then we will select the Visual Basic, then the console application will be there, and then the name, whatever may be the file we want to create, that is hello world file we want to create. Here we will select the path, whatever may be the location of the path we want to give. Solution name, or solution name here will actually, it appears in a Solution Explorer window. So the solution name will be hello world. In this case, here we have selected the VB language, and here we are selecting the console application. So now we will create a console application over here. This is the Solution Explorer window coming. Here we are creating the hello world application. So hello world, and since the class name which we are using is program, so that's why it's called as the program module program.vb. See here, actually if we have saved it with the program.vb name, here we can save it with the program.vb name over here. So simply will this class name will appear, that is program.vb, module program.vb. Now we will discuss about these this code specifically, that what does it mean, means what is this module is, what is this submain, what is this all. So basically this we can say that this particular module, what is this module is, module here is basically used to define or we can say contain all the variables or methods, etc. So whatever may be the variables or whatever may be the methods we are using over here, that is contained by this particular we can say module program. So basically program is the one which actually is containing all the methods whatever we are using in our program, right? Afterwards there is a method called as the submain method, which is used to define a method in our module. Means actually whatever may be the method which we want to define, this method we want to define in our module. So how here we will mention over here, that is submain, args as string. So here basically what is sub? This is the key question which may come in our minds, that what is sub? Sub is a procedure, and it is useful to write a series of Visual Basic statements within sub and end. So whatever may be the series of the Visual Basic statements we want to write, that we write in these two we can say the entry and exit points, that is sub and end sub, console.writeLine hello world, right? And the name main will refer the name of our method. This is the main method, which is the entry point. It's also the entry point of the console application. Generally main method is called as the entry point of the console application. Then there is a very important method called as the console.writeLine. Console.writeLine method is used to write a particular text to the console, and if you write the readLine method, then it is used to read a particular text to the console. So this is about this coding part of this particular hello world application. It's a simple hello world program, and the very beginning we have mentioned that import system. So why we have written here import system? So import system is nothing but it is actually the .NET Framework library namespace, and we used import keyword to import the system namespace to use existing class methods such as write line, read line, etc. So if we want to use these methods like write line method, etc., so all these methods will be imported using this particular system framework, right? System namespace, sorry. So it is including all the library namespaces, and here this is the imports keyword, which is actually used to import the system namespace, and through which we are able to use the existing classes and methods such as write line method, read line method, etc. So by default we can say that a .NET framework provides a lot of namespaces to make the application implementation easier. So this is basically about this hello world program structure, and of course this console, one more terminology which is left to be explained in this code is console. What is console? Console is a class of .NET framework namespace, and it is basically the namespace systems class. So console is the class of this particular namespace system. So I hope you must have got the understanding about this particular setup, that this is how actually the once we can entered into this particular project, then we can easily code it in this particular type of window. This is program.vb, right? So now if you want to run it, means if you want to execute it, then where we'll go? We'll go for the start button over here. So to see the output of our Visual Basic Hello World program, we simply can click Ctrl plus F5, or simply can click this start button option in the menu bar like this, and finally the Hello World program will display like this. Means this is the command prompt. Since it's a console application, so it will appear on the command window only. So it's basically a code where we can actually execute our program. So these are the effective learning outcomes. I hope students, you must have got some understanding of the available tools and products, and ability must have been developed, I hope, to use it effectively, that is Visual Studio tools. So I hope Visual Studio is will be quite helpful for developing certain different kinds of web applications and console application and window application to you. So these are the available tools and products, that is through which we can develop certain Microsoft.NET programs. And then I hope some critical, innovative and adaptive thinking skills must have been gained by all of you, so that this is a newer technology, and we are going to and discuss it in a more detailed manner in the further lectures. So I hope some critical thinking skills must have been gained by all of you, and I hope these updated tools, how we have to use it, how we have to incorporate our certain different tools for this particular application development. So you must have got a certain ability to use these changed and modified updated tools, like VB has now modified Visual Basic language, which was only a Visual Basic language, now it has modified and it's being used as a VB.NET technology now. So there are certain techniques, tools and skills associated with this particular .NET environment for the effective domain specific practices. So if you want to create a certain particular application, whether it is a web application or a console or a even window application or even a cloud application, though we can create it using the different updated tools which are available in this Microsoft.NET framework. Actually Microsoft.NET framework is complete in itself. Actually it does not basically rely on other softwares or other programming languages only. It's a complete we can say kit or framework, where actually all the libraries, all the related classes and methods are actually incorporated in this particular framework. So there is no need that other programming languages which are being prevalent today, they need not to be means their features need not to be used in this particular framework. Rather framework is complete in itself, and framework actually has different libraries and namespaces associated with it. That's why we are able to develop various different applications. Now research scope, actually VB.NET developer is considered that there is less scope in this VB.NET development, but still Microsoft, it's a very popular language of Microsoft, and still Microsoft is widely using this programming language because VB.NET is basically used as a web application primarily by the Microsoft, and it is actually it is easy to use, and that's why actually many business houses, business organizations are actually using it, this VB.NET technology. They are using it for creating different interactive web page designs for their organization, so that a better representation may be done for their business houses, for their business organization. So if a proper website is displayed by any particular business house, then we can say that yeah, this particular working culture of this particular business organization is quite good, and whatever maybe the technology is being incorporated in this business house is quite a newer one. So website design actually gives idea of we can say that newer technologies are being adaptable to that particular business house. So we can say that VB.NET is a quite good application, quite good choice for the web application platform development, and it is actually easy to use. It's not that much difficult, and that's why medium scale and small scale business houses are actually using it. And we can say that it has got a broad scope in the future also, given that users should develop more applications and updated versions. So I hope VB.NET must have gone through, or it should be means a research should be done in this particular area. Means more updated versions should come for the VB.NET, so that more better applications, better web applications may be resulted as an outcome, and more applications can be built upon, where lesser applications are being able to be built on VB.NET. After the modification, there will be a possibility that more better and more number of applications will be built upon. But for this, there is a need in the research of this VB.NET technology. So more better updated versions should be incorporated here. So basically, we have all gone through this particular lecture of this particular VB.NET environment setup, where we came to know that how we have to set up the Visual Studio. Then after installation, how we will create a console application, and then we will go for the creation of the console application, how we have to save it, that we have already saw that new project window will open. Then we will go for the console application, then here we will save the name of the program, the location path will be saved, and so on. So here basically we also saw how we have to code it, and we saw the different code components also, like import system, what is import system, what is module program, what is submain, end sub, and module, etc. And this is the solution explorer, where actually this particular hello world project is coming. And basically we saw the first VB program, how we have to execute it. We have to start here, and then simply we will click the control plus F5 button is also there for the execution, and or we can just simply run it from this particular triangle sort of icon also. And finally we saw the different means SELOs, or the student effective learning outcomes, where actually we gone through that what idea we actually got from this lecture, and how we can use VB.NET in means different aspects for the web development, console application development, window application development, etc. Then we also saw that research scope is quite good for VB.NET. Actually, VB.NET, when it is compared with C#.NET, then it's quite C#.NET usage is quite heavier than VB.NET. But still, VB.NET is undergoing certain research practice research process through the Microsoft, and yeah, of course it has got a broad scope in future, but the need is that some more versioning or newer versions are required for this particular VB.NET. There should be some modification in this VB.NET, and certain we can say tools should be developed in VB.NET, and we can say that a little bit change in this particular VB.NET programming language, we can see drastic change in the performance of the whole .NET framework, we can say this. Yeah. So basically VB.NET technology is if it is introduced with better versions and better we can say modifications, then obviously the business houses will adapt it more and more. Not only the small and medium scale, but the large scale businesses will also incorporate this technology, VB.NET technology, for the application building, for the web application development, for the console application and window application development as well. So VB.NET actually in the previous lecture we saw that actually it has means the usage is not that much, but still if the versioning is improved and more good development tools are incorporated in the VB.NET technology, then I hope that this technology is going to be remarkably means popularly may be used by the different organizations. So that's it for today for this VB.NET lecture, that is environment setup. And now this article actually incorporates several text and diagrams which I have included from the references which are given as below. Thank you very much.